hot dogs, certain smoke smell, and then pure sewage. And it's a mix of all four. And I made the suggestion, I'm like, I think that should be the New York City candle. Like that, all of those smells mixed into one. If someone outside of the country or just lives in a different state wants to know, what does New York smell like? Put all those 4 scents in a candle and sell it. It would make so much money, I'm telling you, because that is the New York City smell. And you smell it like right before you hit the Intrepid. It's like it starts to hit you and you're like, what a wonderful little mix, you know? I don't know. That's just my idea for anyone who makes candles out there. Maybe that's the mix you should do for New York, because it's definitely interesting. Philly is very much cleaner. I've only been to Philly like twice. I've been going into New York my whole life. Like ever since I was little, there's been something going on where I had to go in there. And I know it like kind of like the back of my hand at this point, because also like in my more teen years, I started going in like by myself with my friends a lot and whatever. So yeah. But it's definitely cleaner than New York. I don't remember a lot about Philly, though. Other than I went to, like, my mom made me go to some of the historical sites there, which was interesting, to say the least. I think I ate at, like, this cafe that was, like, oh, this was the cafe that, like, George Washington or something ate at. And I was like, cool, why am I here? And why can't I get a Philly cheesesteak? And why am I eating this bland grilled chicken that I don't want to be eating in Philly? I did get a Philly cheesesteak, though, in Philly. And let me just say, best thing I've ever had in my entire life. Yeah, Peter 3 for me is the best Spider-Man. But anyway, yeah, I don't know how we got into this conversation of, like, my thoughts on New York City and now Philadelphia. But I make music for anyone joining. That's what I do on here. I don't know why we got into this conversation. See, me and my friends have now learned where to park in the city. And our favorite spots are, like, certain spots in Soho that you don't have to park to pay on the street. And it's fabulous. It's just, like, in front of all these people's apartments. You don't have to pay to park there. And then, like, you can walk around, you could take the subway, come back later. You're all good. You know? It's actually really good. Other than the fact that the subway can be a little scary sometimes, you know? There's definitely been some interesting cases, and maybe I've seen the Rat Man from TikTok from, like, twice, but whatever. So, yeah. I want to, like, in the future, like, film some, like, content for my music in the city, because I feel like that would be so funny. Just, like, the people in the background. There's always something going on. There's always something. Oh my god, I just almost had a heart attack reading something. Okay, I'm gonna move past that. What is some of these comments? Okay, Times Square is why I mentioned weird people. Yeah, very valid comment to be making. I don't know. Times Square is just a no. I have never once in my life had just, I don't even know, like, the want or need to go to New Year's in the city. Watch it on your TV. Not a single foreigner, like, you know, like, people who live, like, you know, in the city. Like, not a single person who lives in the city goes to New Year's. Except, like, if you're, like, in one of those buildings and you get a good view, that's great. It's all people from outside the country and, like, tourists who are standing outside on New Year's. And it's so true. It's just kind of crazy. Like, no New Yorker or New Jersey person wants to go in there. It's just, it's a nightmare. And then also you have to stand outside and you're in a crowd of people. You can't move for, like, 20 hours. and you're like standing there in a diaper. That just doesn't sound like a good time to me. Why is that a thing? Like, why did we do that collectively and go, yeah, New Year's, that's how I'm gonna spend my day. But I'm telling you, no New Yorker or New Jersey person is going into the city and doing that. Like, no. It's just no. What? We're just gonna, sorry, I have to, like, mute some stuff. Give me a second. Yeah, it's not a big deal. I had to go in there to see The Lion King, and I hated every second of it. I was like, oh, like, I forgot that that's where The Lion King was on Broadway. I forgot that it was in Times Square. And I sat there in the car when we were pulling up, and I was like, okay, great. And then you, like, have the sea of people trying to sell you something in the street, like, shoving things in your faces and pamphlets and everything. And you're like, no, I'm good. I'm here in line to see The Lion King. Please get away from me. Like, please step aside, sir. No, thank you. It's interesting. I could write a whole song about the city and my experiences in the city, the stories I have. I probably should write about New York at some point. Just, like, some stories about me and my friends and being in the city and all that fun stuff. It would probably be an interesting song. I've just never had, like, I don't know, the inspiration to be like, yeah, I'm gonna sit down and write a song about New York City, like, right here, right now. And, like, the stories I have, like, of my experience in the city growing up and stuff. But someone said they're listening to my song Her right now. I love that. I appreciate that. Thank you. Don't even get me, we are not, no, because I could go on a whole rampage on Northwest as Simba, and that was, no. As someone who has been in musical theater half of my life, absolutely not. I saw kids younger than North on Broadway who performed the actual, like, the song, who were 8 and 9 years old, like, the kids who played Simba and Nala on Broadway, 8 and 9 years old, who were so talented. It was insane. And then you have North. No, thank you. I just want to know, my only thing is, how big was the check to put her on that stage? How big was the check? How much was it? Kim just, like, you know, like, whisper it in my ear. Like, just tell me, like, how big was the check? Because there's no way that she auditioned and got that part fairly. Like, absolutely not. There's no way. No way. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say on that, though. Like, that made me really upset. Like, that was so stupid. And then you see the auditions of the kids who submitted, like, stuff to get that part, and they were actually talented, and then she went up there and did that. Just no. So stupid. Yeah, guess what? There was other celebrities there. No one would pay a ticket to see Northwest. I don't know, and it was all adults sitting in that audience, like, and a few kids, right? None of them are gonna be like, oh my god, I need to go see this Lion King anniversary event because Northwest is going to be there. You know what I mean? This was celebrating the Lion King and the movie and, like, everything that happened with it, and celebrating, like, years of having it not only as, like, a film but also on it's a Broadway show. They had the original cast. They had so many cameos on stage that were really good and put together. And then there's just that. You know? Just kind of crazy. Well, I wouldn't say, like, Kim is, like... I don't like to think that Kardashians are, like, celebrities. Like, that... They're just, like... For me, like, I see them as, like, reality TV stars. But they're not, like, a celebrity. You know what I mean? Kanye, sure. But I'm not, like, a fan of Kanye. Especially not in recent years. But it was horrible stunt casting. It was horrible. Who's Linda? Like, the first thing I thought of was just, like, Bob's Burgers, but I don't think that's the wife's name. I feel like I'm losing it. I know it starts with an L, but I don't know. Oh, thanks. See, I don't know Spanish, and people are always asking me, do you know Spanish in the chat? I'm like, no. I flat out thought someone was saying a name, and I was like, well, that's not my name, so whose name is it? So, that was funny. Someone sent a rose. I appreciate it. I was talking about this earlier. Like, my day was not very interesting. I went to work, wrote a song. That, like, when I got home, I wrote another song. Watched Smiling Friends, like, the new episode, and then now I'm on here. That's really it. Nothing crazy. It's also so bad because I know that he's not on here. But, like, one of my followers, like, Jay, I feel like most people know him by now just because, like, he made a sign for an Aiden Bissett concert that said, like, oh, like, you should collab with Kaylee, whatever. So Jay's a real one, whatever. But I posted this thing